Good afternoon. We're back with some more Lord of the Rings LCG, and today it's going to be the Conflict at the Carrock Nightmare mode. Playing the old Outland Swarm deck for this one. This quest has some changes from the normal mode. The 4 trolls have different versions in Nightmare mode, and there is a 5th troll and an extra stage to this quest at the end. Does increase the difficulty. So this is a good hand because it has Steward of Gondor. Any hand with this Outland Swarm deck that has Steward of Gondor I will keep. And it's always going to go on Hirluin, and then I can use the additional resource generators on Hirluin as well. And I got the resources to get out Faramir, Warrior of Lossarnach, and then use Very Good Tail. Hopefully twice if everything goes well. Sometimes it doesn't though. If I got 2 more 2-cost guys, I would use it again. And I do not. So much for the second copy. Still going to want to quest lightly in stage 1 of this one. Slow play it just as in normal mode until you get to phase 2. This Nightmare deck does punish you for slow playing a little bit, or it tries to discourage it in that you're forced to place 1 progress on the quest every round no matter what. So you can't slow play forever, which adds a little bit of difficulty. But you can still slow play for a good amount of time. So no Ethir Swordsman, but this isn't really a questing focused quest, so I'm not too concerned about it. The guys that I want are the Warrior of Lossarnach and the Knight, the Tactics Outlands guy that increases attack power. Really just want a quest light enough not to take on too much threat. All the trolls have 34 threat, so if I can stay under that when I'm ready for phase 2, then I can engage them one at a time. Depending on my setup, it might not matter, but it might. So I've got a 40 threat enemy in the staging area. He can stay there for a while if I need him to. And I do have to make 1 progress on the quest every round no matter what. It's forced by the Nightmare mode, whether I actually have more willpower than threat or not. So I can put a little damage on this troll here. No attack power guys yet. Gonna use that Very Good Tail. That's the 3rd copy, so there won't be any more of those. And Hunter of Lamedon. It's just deciding there how I was going to pay for Envoy of Pelargir. So we got Hunter of Lamedon, which means looking at the top card of the deck. If it's Outlands, I could take it into hand, but it was not, so I had to discard it. And now I'm going to be trying again with Very Good Tail, and once again it doesn't look too good. Just got 2 kind of cannon fodder guys. So a bit of a slow start really, with no attack power guys yet. The attack power guys and the armor guys are the important ones, and I got 2 of the armor ones, but 4 cannon fodder and no attack power, and no Ethir Swordsman. If this was a questing focused quest or a willpower focused quest, it'd be a very slow start. As it is, it's no problem. I still have 5 turns until I'm forced to advance to round phase 2, if I quest well and don't put any additional extra accidental progress on phase 1, which usually you do put a few. Either that or you're taking on threat. So I got Forlong, but he's not in his final form yet, as there's no Ethir Swordsman and no Tactics guy. So just trying to quest for enough to not take any threat, but I also don't want to be making progress. There I accidentally make 2 progress. 1 more than I wanted to, or 1 more than I had to. And we got a Marsh Hatter, and if that successfully damages anyone, he kills them. Do have 3 armor, I decided it'd be safer to go on Forlong just in case. And I can do some retaliatory damage, at least take out the snake. I'm just counting up what I have there. So we're within 3 threat of needing to aggro all the trolls at once when they come out. And I don't have any threat reduction in this deck. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to play too much board control when the trolls come out. I've got a decent setup in terms of armor. A lot of cannon fodder. A lot of cannon fodder. 3 of each of the cannon fodder guys are out now. And so plenty of targets for the trolls to attack. You're not really punished by enemies destroying your allies like in some quests. So I can just have the trolls take on the cannon fodder, but I am concerned about the lack of attack power because that severely limits my ability to kill the trolls. Got a lot of 1s here. I can use that to take out the enemy. I decide not to move to the location, and that goes to the victory display, and unfortunately it buffs the hit points of each troll enemy by 1. And there's 2 Knight of the Swans attack power guys, so that's very good. It's going to buff all my Outlands guys by 1 each, so they all become 2 or 3 attack allies at least. Getting down near the end of the deck, so I don't know why I added a progress to the quest there. Maybe I had forgotten to do that last round when I was supposed to. Probably that's the case. It is not desirable to make progress here. It is inevitable, though. It's going to happen this turn. The trolls are going to aggro. I'm at 33 threat, so I only likely will optionally engage one of them and try to deal with him so that I don't have to deal with them all at once. So the Carrock becomes the active location as we advance to phase 2. Marsh Adder will engage with our 1 and 2 or not. 3 of these trolls can stay up there for now. I choose to optionally engage one of them. I can only optionally engage one. I couldn't engage the others even if I wanted to. Rupert, a pretty mild one. He prevents trolls' shields from being lowered, which I don't have the ability to do anyway, so I don't care. It was a little reckless to use Hirluin to block that. I probably shouldn't have done that. So the trolls all have +1, so I need 14 +1 for the Carrock is 15 attack. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And troll number 1 is down. And I got a little bit extra. 3, 4, 5 to take out the Marsh Adder, and I got overflow left over. An additional 3, 4 if I needed it. Now I've got some Ethir Swordsman, so that'll enable me to efficiently avoid taking on any threat from all the guys in the staging area. And the card I get to keep, but it doesn't matter. So now I'm just counting up how much I need to quest for. With this board state, it would be hard to lose, I would say. Typically, it's hard to lose with this board state with this Outlands deck in any quest, unless it has a mechanism for punishing a lot of allies, which this quest does not. So it's really just a matter of doing the math from here. So I'm just thinking about which guys I want to quest with. I don't want to take threat. I will be on phase 2. I would like to clear the Carrock as well, so I'm including that in my calculation. each of my Outlands guys that has 1 willpower built in is going to be questing for 5, with Faramir and each of the Ethir Swordsmen, and each of the 0 willpower guys will quest for 4. So I have all the willpower I could ever need, and I'm likely going to have all the attack I'm going to need as well. So I do make progress on the Carrock plus some overflow. Clear it, which is going to reduce the attack power and the armor of each of the trolls by 1. So the only buff they have at the moment is 1 extra HP. Forlong can ready every phase, as he is in his final form. So I'm going to use some cannon fodder to take the attacks from the trolls. It's not really necessary to do that. Some of my Outlands guys can survive a hit from the troll no problem. Forlong's at 3 armor, so with a dud shadow card he just takes 1 damage. Same with a Hunter of Lamedon. And they currently have 4 HP. And I decide I'm not going to risk one of my Outlands, and it would have actually killed him because he got a buff of 2. The snake kills anyone if he deals damage to it. So now it's time to do some math concerning the attack power that I have to use. I should have raised threat by 3 when Lewis attacks, and I realize that now. He's one you want to deal with last. Well, not last really. Doesn't matter too much. So in terms of the strategy of when to take out the trolls, I think you take out the troll that means you can't reduce their armor, at least with this deck first, unequivocally. Then you have one who's going to give the trolls the ability to raise your threat by 1 when you attack. So if you take out Lewis second, at the least, you're reducing the threat you increase each round by 1, because then you're going to have 2 trolls left. They'll each increase threat by 2, but Lewis increases it by 3. If you can take out 2 in the same round, so much the better. But at least if you take out Lewis now, then you're only taking on 1 threat. Or you're taking on 1 threat less. You're taking 2 instead of 3. Now I don't think I have enough attack power to take out another troll, but my threat's only 37, so I'm not too worried about it. And I can take out the Muck Adder at least. Now you have 2 left. One of them's going to buff the attack power of the other trolls, and one of them's going to buff the shields. So one of them, in terms of which one you want to take first, it's probably a matter of personal preference. I think I'd take out the attack power guy first. You could probably make a pretty good case for either though. So I have 6 damage to bear on him, so he takes 4. And there's my final Knight of the Swan and my final Warrior of Lossarnach, just to really drive the point home. Hunter of Lamedon does not give me any Outlands guys. I don't think there are any left to get, actually. So, don't have to quest for much here. You don't really need to make progress on phase 2. Just don't want to take on too much threat. So get another Muck Adder. And I'm trying to decide about engaging the Marsh Adder here. And I figure why? Why bother? Just leave it there as long as I can. I could have handled it here, I think, but... So each troll increases threat by 1 thanks to Lewis's buff. And that would have healed the other troll for 4 if it had been on him, but it wasn't. So now I got plenty of attack. I can probably take on all remaining enemies this round. And if I take the attack power guy down first, it'll make it a little easier to take down the shield guy. second. So that's 3, 6, 9. They have 11 HP instead of 10 because of that one troll that was killed earlier. And now I just need 11 on Steward. So that's going to be 4, 8, 12. That's 16. Yeah, 4, 8, 12. That's 15. That's more. Oh, yeah, 15 is what I need because 4 shields and 11 hit points. So 15. And then 4 will take out the snake. I should immediately move on to phase 3 now that all trolls are dead. And this is the extra phase. It adds Rob and Bob to the staging area. And then I have to search the deck for a troll, non-unique troll enemy. And I'm just going to choose one of those other buffing guys that I killed earlier. Those are easier than the hill trolls, which is my other option. It's just a 3 attack, 8 attack power needed to kill a guy. He will have the buffs from the other trolls, but yeah, I can't say that would be too much of a problem. So I don't need to quest here to make progress. I just need to quest to avoid threat, which is what I'm going to do for questing for 15, it looks like. 13, so I would make progress if I needed any. I go ahead and move to that location. And the Marsh Adder's coming back in. I win the quest as soon as I take out Rob and Bob. Marsh Adder does increase threat by 1, but I got plenty of threat to spare. No damage there. Rob and Bob increased threat by 1 as well. And he's attacking for 6 thanks to his buff. And he sacks one of my heroes, which is annoying. And the final troll attack, probably put that on Forlong, I'd imagine. Doesn't matter too much though. So I need +1 HP on Rob and Bob and +1 shield, so I'm going to need 16 attack to take him down. No problem at all. 4, 8, 12, 16 with lots and lots to spare, and that's going to end the game as the game ends as soon as Rob and Bob are defeated. So, this is an interesting nightmare quest with some changes from the normal mode that make it more challenging and change the end of it. I like what they did with this nightmare quest. I enjoyed it. It did provide some challenge over the decks that I tried initially, and so I turned to the Outland Swarm, which made pretty short work of it. As the Outland Swarm will do with any quest where you have time to set up and you're not punished for playing Ally Swarm. So, thanks for watching.